Hi there, this is Chris with Peace of Mind Art and Crafts, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna do a tutorial on, oops, I'm trying to fix my light here, sorry, on a book that is called Letters to the Bride. And I got the idea, a friend of mine had done one for her sister, and I helped her design the cover for it. So she did it in a 3-ring binder, and then she added the papers inside the plastic page protectors. I'm going to do mine in using kind of the guts of an old book. And as you can see, I took out, this was just a book that I got from the dollar store, and I took out the inside pages, and I saved those. I'll use those for, you know, book pages and so on. And then what I did was I cut to size pieces of this digital paper that, and I'll try to find the source for this that I got this from and list it below in the description box. What I did was I cut this to fit, and I used my tear ruler so that I could kind of get a torn page look to it. And I took it right down into this binding channel here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bind it onto a strip of paper and then glue that into here. And so we'll show you that process also. But I wanted to get going a little bit on showing you what the front cover is going to be looking like, and the back cover and so on. So why don't we do that? I have already picked the paper that I'm going to use on the front, and this is the back cover. And as you can see, it's kind of a green with a little bit of a glittery look to it. Very pretty paper. It's just scrapbook paper that I got. I also have cut a piece for the front. By the way, here is a photo of what I eventually used for, and I'll move it up a little bit so you can see it a little better, what I eventually used for the cover of my friend's Letters to the Bride journal. And I'm kind of going off that, using kind of that same idea. And I will cover that process also in the video. These will probably be about 3 videos to this series, possibly 2, but we'll try for 3. Make them a little bit shorter. Okay, so let me tell you what I did after covering the inside with the paper. And I used the Arctic glitter glue to glue down the paper, because it was gluing paper to paper or cardboard, and so it held just fine. Then I cut my sheets of paper the size that I wanted them. This is going to have binding, or excuse me, lace around the binding, but I wanted to not be able to see the title of the book through there, so I put a layer of binding ribbon here. It's the Hug Snug ribbon, very thin, but it covers over there just enough so that you won't be able to read the book title through the lace. Okay, let me show you what I kind of have designed for the front cover, and I don't think I'm going to glue that down yet, but here's all I just kind of put aside the ingredients, you might call them, for the front cover. And this is of course for the spine on the inside. Okay, so we're going to start with a piece of paper that is cut to the same size as the piece of paper that I have on the back. And we may put some decoration or something on the back also, but for right now I'm just going to concern myself with getting the front. Now you'll notice the difference between these two and I'll show you what I did to achieve that, is all I did was I inked the paper up. So I'm going to take my ink, put that aside for a minute, and I'm using Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. It's by Ranger. Okay, and so this was what I was doing on a sheet of the paper, on a different sheet of the paper, and I noticed that it was bringing out the pattern more, and I kind of liked that, so that's what I'm going to do. And I did that on the back also, so that's what I'm going to do. Hope you guys are all okay today. It's the Sunday before Christmas that I'm making this. I'm hoping to put out some of these videos during Christmas week, in case some of you have some time off. And of course, we know you're going to use your time off to work on your journals, right? I will, just because I'm not really going anywhere this year, just staying home. Okay, push that off a bit. You can make some parts of it a little darker than other parts if you want. Okay. Brush off. Okay, let me turn this around, see where I like it the best. I think I like that. I like it this way. Okay, so this will fit on the front of the book the same as it did on the back. I'm tempted to glue this down first before I glue the other stuff down, because then I will get a better idea of the layout. Okay, what I did was I left not too much on the outside and the bottom and the top, and then more space on the inside here where the lace is going to go over the top of it. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue that down. I think I'm going to use fabric tack for this, just because it'll give me an opportunity to move it around a little bit more and get it where I want it. Now, normally I take a pencil and, as you know, and mark like at least one edge or possibly two edges where it's going to go. I don't think it's going to show up, but I'll do it just the same. Oh, it did show up a little bit. Okay, so that'll at least give me a place to start. So I'm going to take my fabric tack glue. I want to also mention that I've had some new subscribers lately. Thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you for those that were already subbies who have come back to see my videos some more. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you, actually. Okay, now this is a brand new one, so let's see if I can get it started. If I have too much trouble, I might have to go with the other glue until I can get this to come down. Or maybe I need to take a seal off or something. Let me check. Aha, see? It's going to come through unless you take the seal off. Ooh, now it's really coming out. Okay. So, remember to do that. Okay. No, it's not coming off my fingers because they're gluey. Okay, now it should work. Right. I'm just going as close to the edge, not quite on the edge because it is going to ooze out some and hit that edge when I put it down. I don't want to go too close. You could also use your white glitter glue on this if you prefer. Okay, I'll try to remember which was the top. I think this was the top. Okay, so I can see my little pencil marks there, so I'm going to try to hit those with this bottom part. And then now I haven't patted it down completely yet until I check it on the sides to make sure that, and I'm turning it around just so I can see that if it's flush on kind of all sides there. Okay, that looks good. As you know, in something handmade, don't strive to have it look perfect. Okay? You can always see what I mean about being able to shift it a little bit after I get it on there with the fabric tack glue. Okay, so now I'm going to pat it down. Check your edges, make sure they're down. Oh, but what I was saying was it doesn't have to be perfect. It's handmade. Nothing handmade is perfect, and actually really nothing in life is perfect either. So, you know, just go with that idea. It works for me. Okay, so now what I think I want to do, I'm trying to decide if I want to put the lace on first or okay, I'm using this lace, which is a stretch lace, which I'm hoping that it's going to I think I want it down in that channel. Yeah, I do want it down in that channel. See how I'm doing on time? I'm doing okay. I might also run some pearls down in the channel. Okay, I think that's where I want it. I don't know if this is going to work because this is stretch lace, but I'm going to try it. Okay, I'm using the fabric tack again because it is, I am gluing fabric down this time instead of just paper, so I do want it to be fairly glued down. And I'm going to put just a little bit on this edge. Okay. What I'm trying to do is hold, whoops, that's it. I'm gonna have to clamp it or something. Okay, let me find something to clamp with. Put my big paper clip there for a moment. Okay. I wonder if some of you are going to have a snowy Christmas. We're in Colorado and there is snow on the ground. right now, so it doesn't, not too much though, so if it doesn't melt, then we will have a snowy Christmas. Okay, that seems to be working. I think I'm just gonna push this along in the channel. Hey, my handy dandy paper clip. That's some paper clip, isn't it? I have this thing about big paper clips. Look at this one. That one's a good one too. Maybe I'll put that on. On this side. Here I need to have one here. Okay, when this is dry, then what I'll do is I'll turn it over and I'll have the lace go over onto the back. That'll look very pretty. Okay, this is a little bit off, so I'm gonna actually I think I'm gonna put a little bit more down here. A bit more glue. But I think it's holding fairly well. Okay, there we go. Oh my, I'm dropping everything. Okay, sorry about that. The bumbling crafter is at it again. Okay, kind of the reason I put this lace on first was because I knew that I could kind of lift this up if I wanted something kind of underneath there. So now I need to try to make my design fit. I have cut out some pieces and some envelopes. Now I'm not going to have the paper or the letters from the bride come out from the little envelope. I have a letters to the bride cut out, which I'll put, I think, across here. But for right now, what you could do is you could take this out, and not all of it will be, this won't be glued down, but the envelopes will be. You could take this out and you could write dear and then the name of the bride, whichever bride you're making this for. And that would look cool. Okay, so you kind of decide where you want the envelopes to go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to back it with some papers that kind of look like letters. I got that one. Okay. This one. Let that one come down. Maybe this one right here. Okay, I think I maybe want something coming out up there as well. Let's see what I've got. Some extra paper. Here's some more paper here. And I can make into something to fit back behind there. I'll use my tear ruler for this. just kind of tearing out. Part of this I can use for I'm not quite sure where I got this from, but like I said, I will link it when I look it up. It's a French script, so okay. So how big do I want this? Maybe about here. And not too much, so I think I'm gonna just tear it. And of course, tear it across here. This will be the part that'll be to kind of look like an old letter. And the envelope, I made that also out of this paper. And there's lots of tutorials for how to make envelopes online, so I'm not gonna show you that in this one. Okay, so let's see. Another letter peeking out of here. This one. This one. Okay, I kind of like that. Put it up just a little because I need to have room for letters from the bride. Okay, so we will let this dry just a little bit more. I think it's fairly dry. But I had wanted to show you the papers I'm going to use for the inside of the book. And then what I'll do off camera is I will glue this down. I'll start on the bottom, and remember how I showed you I put some I'm going to move this up just a little bit because I got to remember that I want my letters to the bride down here. And I showed you how I went with the little pencil mark, so I know where my to put my corners on those. You can also put like a little pencil mark on this one here, so that when you take these off, then you know where to lay them down again. Yeah, a little pencil mark here. This I think I want. Do I want it turned? Which way do I want it turned? I want these to look like stacked envelopes because I am going to put a ribbon around here and tie it in a bow like it's a... Okay, sorry, my video cut off. Like it's a stack of saved envelopes. And let's see. Put one here and here. Okay, and here. Okay, let me show you the papers that I'm using for this. And I got these papers out of, I did use some, a few pages of coffee dyed, but most of them I got out of paper stacks that I had, scrapbook paper. And here's the one that I used the majority out of. I got this at Tuesday Morning. They sometimes have scrapbook things and craft things, and it was a pretty good price, $6.99 for all of this paper. Some really pretty ones. They have some lace ones and some flower ones. Kind of different. Some of them have gold foil on them, which I like. Okay, so, but you can use any scrapbook paper that relates to the bride that you're making this for. Keep in mind, you know, the bride, maybe she is super frilly girl and wants, you know, roses and lace and stuff. Maybe she's kind of in the middle, maybe likes romantic stuff, but not real frilly. And then maybe she's like more of a plain girl and likes camping and, you know, doing things outside. And, you know, there's all different kinds of people. So there's all different kinds of brides. So you can tailor it to the bride that you're making it for. Okay. And these papers that I picked, I have about... oh, let's see, I think I wrote down how many I have. Yeah, there's approximately 38 pages to this book if you use the front and the back. So this would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And there's approximately 38, which, you know, gives you kind of, if you don't have more than 38 people, what you do actually for this is you write a letter or an email and send it to all the different people that you would like to contribute a letter to this book. And, you know, of course, name the bride, and they all know that she's getting married, probably. And tell them that you're going to make this for them. You could also make this for an anniversary. You know, if you're doing like a 25th anniversary for someone or something, you can do this same idea for them. Only, you know, of course, it wouldn't say letters to the bride. It would just say, you know, memories of 25 years or whatever you wanted to make it. But anyway, in your letter, then you mention that you would like everyone to write a letter to this person and asking them if they want to include certain memories of that person, or if they have photographs that they can send you. Make sure that they just send you copies of the photographs. And, you know, whatever else you want them to include. It's really fun. I did this for several of my nieces when they got married. And it's a fun way. Need a drink of water, I think. Thank you. I think I will show you the pages. We'll have a quick flip through of the pages first. This one was one that folded over, and I made an automatic pocket out of that. Okay, and we have some white pages. This page is a smaller page. This one has a rose on it. Put it in the back. Coffee dyed. Their scrapbook paper. And we'll go back through and we'll put some pockets and maybe a few decorations on these. Mostly it'll be done by the person who gets the letters and the photos that are going into the book. But you do want to leave a few places where they can insert things. Okay, it's pretty. This is the center of the book. This would be an excellent place to put some small snapshots of the person that you're honoring. with the book. Or maybe they can put some in later. I like this paper. It's kind of a lacy look to it. And this has kind of a stained glass. Okay, this is a piece of paper that was put in as a side pocket. That would be an excellent place to put a letter. Okay, this is the other side of that. Actually, this one folds down. And I'm going to put, this paper is sort of upside down. You can kind of tell that it's upside down. So I'll probably put some kind of decoration over the top of this and leaving some of these roses on there. And this is a dove. It's a pretty design. It's another cup stained. And then here's the back. Another pocket here. Okay, so whoops, my giant paper clip fell out. Okay, what I want to do now is I have the center of the book made up. Okay, I'll show you what I did. First of all, I'm gonna take this off, set it aside for now. Okay, and what I did was I put this in the center of the book, measured, and cut a strip of actually matching paper. And I can use either side of it. I think I'm going to use this side of it since it kind of blends in a little better. And I cut the strip to fit right in here, making sure that the book can close. I folded the strip in half, and then I marked the center of the strip and 1 inch from each end, so that now I have my insert that will go in here after I put the pages. So I'm not going to go through this book, the hardcover. I'm going to make this. I'm going to make the inside section on here, so that the pages can just be glued right down in there. I'm hoping that's going to work. I think I've done this before, but it might have been on paper instead of this hard cardboard. So we're going to try it, see how it goes. I bind it the same way that we bind our paper books. Usually we have a cover. Usually this is a cover, but now it's just a binding strip. I'm going to get my book. Use this old catalog. Open it up. Oops. Okay, I'm going to make sure, and I get my little bookbinding kit out. And my supplies are some paper clips to hold the pages together so they don't slip, so we can get a in the middle measurement. Some waxed thread, which I'm going to use the off-white color on that. And then you can use an awl, which is a sharp pointy tool, an owl, A-W-L, awl. Or I use this, the pointed edge of a compass. And then you'll need a large hold blunt needle So I'll put that there and hopefully I'll find it in a minute. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I forgot this page. I'm going to center these the way I want them, the pages. These pages are different sizes. Yours can be all the same size if you prefer. I kind of like it to be all different sizes. And I have already measured that closed that this will fit into the book cover that I have over here. Okay, let me see what we have here. Don't want anything to go. Pull this down a little ways. There we go. Make sure that's in the center. Then I'm going to put the clips on. Usually what I do is I tap it down each time. If I put a clip here, then the next clip I want to put over here on this side. Okay. Here. And you can use any kind of clips you want. Is it a surprise that I have more paper clips for this? Okay, so now normally this might be your cover, then you'd go down through the holes. However, this is going to be your cover. So what I want to do is I want to put this inside just for now. It's not going to be glued in here, but I'm just putting it in so that I can measure and punch the holes. I turn this this direction. One of these days I'm going to get a bigger table. Okay, and I put this into the center of this catalog that I'm using. I want to make sure that this is lining up with the pages. Okay, and I'm going to poke through my mark. I went all the way through. Move up to either the top or the bottom. Look through. And same thing here. There. Okay, so I'm keeping my clips still on there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out my thread. And I measure 3 times the length of the book. And you could do a tiny bit more if you want things dangling from it, but I'm not going to have that. So I'm just going to cut it about 3 times the length and a little bit more. Thread my needle. Now on this one you're going to want the thread to tie on the inside here. So you start on the inside. You're going to want to make sure you catch this into the hole also, and leave a little bit on the inside there to tie. And I'm going to go either into the top or into the bottom. It doesn't matter. Okay, let me see here. This is going to be kind of tricky. It's a little bit trickier than your regular way of doing it. Okay, so now I can't see where the hole is. I kind of can. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back around to here. And I am going to find where the hole is on the inside. Okay. And I'll kind of line that up. And I'm still going to go down through the back. There we go. I said this is a little bit tricky, but I'll get it. And we'll just use the pliers to pull that through. Okay, so now it's kind of starting to make a little more sense. Pull this out. Okay, so see we have our thread on the back here. Now we're on the inside, so we're going to go all the way up to the top and go out again. Do both holes. Okay. And we're going to go back through the middle. Maneuver this around a little bit. As a matter of fact, you might have to put it through and then look where this is and put it through again. Found it. Did we find it? Nope. We did not. Okay, we know where that outside one is. There we go. Okay, so we're going to come up. Like I said, it's not easy. You got to kind of maneuver it a little bit. Get my pliers again. Pull it through. There we go. Okay, I'm going to tighten these a little bit. Okay, this is not really tight enough. Let's see. There we go. Yeah. So you want it to be fairly snug on the back. Got a little bit of give to it. And then on the front. Okay, and you want when you tie your string, you want one to be on one side of the inside thread and one to be on the outside. Take my needle off. And then I can tie it. I usually use 2 knots or 3 knots. This wax thread really holds its shape pretty good, so it usually needs like 2 or so. So you could tie it in a bow if you wanted to. I think I'm just gonna snip it off fairly short. This piece left over is probably good to save. Use it for something. Okay, now I can take my paper clips off. And the next step would be, of course, you got to determine which way is up. This is the bottom, the top. And you can glue this right down to the inside of your book. You're going to want to put glue on both sides here, or you can just put glue in the channel and then set this down into it. That might be easier. That's the way I'm going to do it, actually. So I'm going to put glue into the channel, and then I'm not going to do it on camera because I'm going to need to hold this for a little bit so that it holds. But can you see the way that fits? This will fit right down into that channel and be glued in there. And then have your book. You still have plenty of room for your items in there. So the next time I come back, I will have glued this into the book, and I will glue the items to the front cover that we have according to our all of our little marks that we made. We need those so that we can easily glue that down. And then we will do a little bit of decorating in the journal. I can show you what to do on that. So I wish you peace of mind, and please come back. Please hit the like button for me, and if you're not a subscriber, I would love it if you would subscribe. Maybe visit my Etsy channel. I hope everyone has a great day. Peace of mind. Thank you.